One man attempted the impossible task of traveling from Los Angeles to North Carolina with just a penny in his pocket. His name? Ryan Trahan. His mission? To prove that anything is achievable with a bit of imagination, determination, and help from humans. This was more than just an adventure. It was an attempt to prove the depth of human kindness in the form of a survival battle, all while racing against the clock. Why did Ryan begin with a penny? It wasn't only to challenge his survival skills, but to raise money for Feeding America, a nonprofit working towards ending hunger in America. Every donation made would help feed the needy, and with a fundraiser goal met, countless lives would be saved. But first, he needed to figure out a plan to turn a single penny into food, shelter, and eventually, a plane ticket that would take him across the country. Day 1, the first trade. Ryan knew he had to move fast. With just one penny in his pocket, he hit the streets of Los Angeles, ready to hustle. His first move? The classic penny-for-profit strategy, trading his penny for something of greater value. He convinced a stranger to exchange the penny for a water bottle. Then he sold the bottle for $1. Just like that, the game had begun. With his first dollar in hand, he had a choice: eat or invest. Instead of buying food, he doubled down, purchasing more bottles to sell, flipping them for a small profit. Soon, he had enough to buy a McDonald's meal, and for the first time, he tasted victory, along with a cheeseburger. The hustle begins. Each day became a strategic puzzle. How could he turn a few dollars into enough money to keep going? He started a giga hustle, taking odd jobs, reselling items, and even launching a delivery service on his bike. One of his biggest moneymakers, buying and selling candy. He'd purchase packs at a discount store, then resell each piece individually for a profit. A classic entrepreneur move. But Los Angeles was just the starting line. Ryan needed transportation, and bus tickets weren't free. His best bet? A mix of hard work and sheer luck. He tried flipping items, searching for hidden bargains, and even offering his services to local businesses. After relentless effort, he finally scraped together enough cash to buy his first bus ticket out of California. Challenges on the road. Traveling with no money is tough. Sleeping arrangements? Unpredictable. Some nights he found cheap motels. Other times he had to get creative, crashing at truck stops, parks, or anywhere he could find a safe spot. The real challenge, though, was food. Some days he barely had enough to eat. Other days, kind strangers stepped in, offering him a meal just because they believed in his mission. But the most challenging part? The Great Reset. At any moment, a massive donation to Feeding America could wipe his entire earnings back to 1 penny, forcing him to start over. It happened multiple times, each reset more brutal than the last. But Ryan never gave up. Would he make it to his final destination? Could he survive another reset? The journey was far from over. The road gets tougher. Ryan had made it out of California, but the real test was just beginning. Each new city brought fresh opportunities and fresh challenges. He had to adapt constantly, finding new ways to make money, new places to rest, and new strategies to stay ahead of the dreaded Great Reset. One of his best strategies? Freelance work. Ryan took any odd job he could find, mowing lawns, running errands, even washing windows. If someone needed a quick task done, Ryan was on it. But just when things seemed to be going well, another Great Reset hit. The pain of starting over. Imagine grinding for days, flipping items, saving every penny, only to wake up and find it all gone. That's precisely what happened to Ryan multiple times. Each time a significant donation would trigger the reset, forcing him to restart with just 1 penny. It was brutal. Some days he barely had the energy to keep going. But instead of giving up, Ryan saw each reset as a challenge, a chance to prove that no matter how many times he got knocked down, he could rise again. The resets were challenging, but not as difficult as managing the weather. The amount of money he brought with him made traveling difficult at times. To solve this, he walked for miles under the suffocating heat, foraging for work. A single dollar menu meal alongside a couple of cheap snacks was pretty much his diet plan. He was, at best, sleepless, spending most of his nights feeling too uncomfortable to get any rest. No matter what he was facing, he became determined to keep pushing through. How sweet strangers can be. People he met during the worst and best moments of his journey were, in many ways, the most generous people he had ever come across. They were strangers, and strangers can be very helpful and understanding at times. Along the way, these strangers contributed to his survival by providing him with food, beds, and kind words. These kind people included the owner of a restaurant who gave him a delicious meal even when he could not pay for it. Then there was the sweet gas station attendant who allowed him to hydrate at his station and fill up his water bottle. There was even the one lovely person who so selflessly picked him up while he was walking, making his journey much easier. Every act of kindness reminded him and his audience that humanity is filled with good people willing to help when they can. Crossing state lines. With each passing day, Ryan inched closer to his goal. He moved through Texas, Oklahoma, and beyond, facing new challenges in every state. Some places were more straightforward to hustle in, with busy downtowns full of opportunities. Others were much tougher, with fewer people, fewer jobs, and higher costs. To keep things exciting, Ryan started setting many challenges for himself, like surviving on only $5 for a full day, or making money in a brand new way. His creativity kept his audience hooked, and his ability to adapt kept him alive. And then, just when he thought he had things under control, another great reset. Ryan had lost everything again. He was running out of time, and North Carolina still seemed impossibly far away. Would he be able to finish the challenge before time ran out? The final stretch, a race against time. With the clock ticking in North Carolina still hundreds of miles away, Ryan knew he had to level up his strategy. The resets had pushed him to his limits, but now he had no choice but to move faster, think smarter, and push harder than ever before. He doubled down on his most successful tactics, flipping items, doing odd jobs. Every dollar counted, and every decision had to be strategic. He couldn't afford to waste time. But the real game changer? Fast food hacks. Ryan realized he could stretch his budget by taking advantage of promotions, free rewards apps, and discount meals. He signed up for every restaurant app he could find, scoring free drinks, cheap meals, and even the occasional completely free food item. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept him going. Transportation was still a major hurdle. Walking for miles was draining, and buses were too expensive. That's when he turned to ride-sharing, not as a customer, but as a creative hustler. Instead of paying for rides, Ryan started networking with people who were already traveling in his direction. Sometimes it was fellow travelers who wanted some company. Other times it was complete strangers who believed in his mission. Each ride brought him closer to his final destination. But just when things were looking up, another great reset. The last reset, the ultimate test. This time it felt different. The finish line was so close, yet in an instant, everything was gone again. Ryan sat there staring at a single penny, wondering if he could genuinely start over one last time. Then something clicked. This was his moment, his greatest test. He had spent weeks proving that persistence beats luck, that creativity beats limitations, and that kindness can be found in the most unexpected places. So he got up, dusted himself off, and started again. This time he moved faster than ever. He immediately flipped his penny into a few dollars, found a quick hustle, and within hours he was back in action. His experience had made him more efficient. What had taken days at the start of the journey now took mere hours. By the time he reached the final leg of his trip, he had built just enough money to buy his last bus ticket, one that would take him across the final stretch to North Carolina. The finish line 30 days later. After 30 grueling days, thousands of miles, and countless resets, Ryan finally stepped foot in North Carolina. The impossible journey was complete. The challenge had been a battle of endurance, creativity, and resilience. Ryan had turned one penny into survival, transportation, and a nationwide adventure. But beyond that, he had raised over $1.3 million for Feeding America, proving that small acts, when multiplied, can change the world. His journey wasn't just about survival. It was about proving that anyone can achieve the impossible with enough determination. It was about the power of community, the kindness of strangers, and the ability to keep going, no matter how many times you're forced to start over. Ryan Trahan's Penny Challenge wasn't just a YouTube series. It was an inspiration, a testament to human perseverance, and a reminder that sometimes all you need to start something incredible is a single penny. And that's how he did it. If you loved this insane journey, hit like, smash subscribe, and stay tuned for more epic stories on our channel.